All right, guys. Well, Kirsten Dunst is. Wait, I've had all this time to learn her name. Kirsten. Chris. Kristen. Chris. It's showtime, folks. So, Civil War. It's Alex Garland's newest release. Now, I'm sorry for the delay. Had a little bit of trouble getting this one out to you guys, but hopefully, if you've already seen it, you've enjoyed it because it's something that I enjoyed. So, Civil War is a movie following Kirsten Dunst's character, who is a military photographer or a war photographer that is trying to get the final shot of this civil war that is going on in the United States. Now, this film, I have to be completely honest with you, is more of a drama action movie. And I wanted to say that right out the gate because I think a lot of people might go into the movie a little confused, thinking that this is going to be completely about the Civil War that is going on in the title of the movie. You know, I think a lot of people might have, some people will get confused with what they think is going to happen in this film. And I definitely have to put it out there that this is heavily infused drama within some aspects of action. Okay, so as long as you understand that, then I think the rest of the experience of this film going forward is going to be a pleasant one. So starting off with the pros in this movie, I love the way this movie is shot. You get a lot of dialogue heavy scenes, but you feel the emotion in it. I think a lot of the actors and actresses in this just work well together. The chemistry is there. Kirsten Dunst does an exceptional job, like she always does. I feel like she's maybe an underrated actor, if I may go as far as to say that, because I don't see a lot of people talking about her. I mean, at least in my generation, I know her mostly as Mary Jane Watson from the original Spider-Man trilogy, but just in everything else she's done, even in Interview with the Vampire back in the late 90s, that was a really good performance. And in this one, it's no different. Kirsten Dunst really carries the film well. She definitely plays the character of that, weathered and experienced war photographer very well. And you could see it in her face that a lot of the job has weighed down on her. And I really enjoyed following her character throughout this film. Another pro I have on this film is the way they utilize the view of the photographer in this. So what I mean by that is there are certain shots in this film that are actually through the lens of the picture, and it really elevates what's going on in the scene. Every time you see a picture from the point of view of the people taking a camera shot of it, it's really well done. The thing about this movie, like I said, it heavily relies on its drama and its characters to carry it forward. But the use of action in this film is meaningful. So every time there's an action shot or there's an action sequence in this movie, the best way to describe it is you feel every shot. You feel every single emotion that these characters are feeling. The tension in this film is there. Experiencing the film through the eyes of the photographers, of these journalists. You're not experiencing it from the point of view of a soldier who's involved in this civil war, who might be a little bit more war-hardened. You're seeing it through the eyes of reporters who have been through this, journalists who have been through this, and also through a younger photographer's eyes, somebody who's not as experienced in this world. And you're seeing it, the emotions and the balance of that, and you feel every single one of these things during the action sequences, and the action sequences are used very well in this film, and that's something I have to applaud. So cons in this movie, I gotta be honest, I don't have many. If anything, if I had to nitpick something in this film, it's that it might confuse people into thinking that it is completely about the Civil War. But I think if you watched the trailer and if you kind of followed a little bit of the buzz of this movie, you would know that it's not completely an action thriller. So Would I really say it's a con? Not exactly, but it's to be fair to the movie. It's just to give it a little nitpick. It's just to make sure that everybody understands that it's not completely an action movie, okay? This is definitely a drama that's driven by its characters, and I think it is done exceptionally well. So, getting on to my rating. Civil War, I can't say it was a surprise for me, but I was surprised at least a little bit. Yeah, I know there's a little bit of a contradiction there. But I was surprised at least a little bit by how much I enjoyed it. Because typically with these drama movies that throw in little pieces of action, it's either heavy-handed on one side or the other. But in this, I really enjoyed the balance, and I really enjoyed that you could feel the action, that the tension was there. Especially in there's one scene, and you'll know exactly what I mean if you go watch the movie. In one scene in particular, you don't know what's gonna happen to the characters you're following, and your eyes are glued to the screen because the use of silence in this movie, the just dead silence, really plays into that tension, really plays into gripping your seat, watching what's about to happen and not knowing what is gonna happen next. And I really think that works to the movie's benefit. So getting to the rating, like I said, I think Civil War is a 4 out of 5. Are you not entertained? And the reason I have to ask if you're not entertained is because of the performances, it's because of the sound design, because of the use of action sequences to move the plot forward, and for the overall experience of this film. I think this is definitely a movie you should check out in theaters, especially without not knowing what's gonna happen next. I think this gives you enough tension. Man, you could cut with a knife. I haven't felt tension like this since Uncut Gems, which is something that I remember watching and wondering, why is this character doing this? You feel tension in different ways in this film. And I'll tell you what, I can't give it a 5 because I don't know how much of a rewatchability it's gonna have after you've seen it one time. But I will say this, the use of action in this film is really, really well done. And that balance is there because it serves the purpose of you feeling the movie as the journalist would in that situation. But with that being said, guys, 4 out of 5. With that, guys, what did you think about Civil War? Did you already catch the movie? Do you agree with what I'm saying? Disagree with what I'm saying? Do you think Mary Jane Watson made a very good journalist? Did she learn well from good old Pete? Let me know down below in the comments. If you haven't, guys, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate all the support. Like I always say, I know you could be anywhere else, but you're here giving me time and watching our videos, so I appreciate that. Also, if you haven't, like and share this video, we'd really appreciate that. And ring the notification bell so you know when new videos are coming out. We've started a new little series called Chuco's Power Picks, where we talk about movies that might not be on everybody's radar and that I would recommend checking out. And so those are starting to roll out a little bit more frequently. And we appreciate your attention. But guys, in the wake of a civil war, I don't know what to tell you. It's like my buddy Luffy always used to tell me, and that's